It's been said that the American dream is slipping away. Mass perception is that home ownership has become unattainable because the costs are just too high. In this space, we believe the American dream is alive and well. The hope of home ownership is within reach. To transform mass perception, it requires education and truth. Equity leverages dreams and aspirations. Together, we can shed a light on the future of home ownership. Welcome to Your Affordable Home Show. I'm your host, Stephen Mitchell. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Again, we're going to focus this week on the 6 big takeaways from new HUD Secretary Scott Turner's Day 1 remarks. So, again, 6 big takeaways there. Thought I would just start off, though, with what is HUD's mission? So this is their mission statement. Their mission statement is to increase home ownership, support community development, and increase access to affordable housing free from discrimination. That's HUD's mission statement. At HUD's 50-year celebration, they actually coined the name for the department, calling it the Department of Opportunity. So here we go. 6 big takeaways from Secretary Scott Turner's Day 1 remarks. Number 1, urban, tribal, and rural focused. They'll be urban, tribal, and rural focused. Again, there's inner cities, municipalities, that's urban. You got tribal protected lands. Rural focus, that's obviously outside the city, in the country, in the sticks, whatever you want to call it, but outside of town. Number 2 big takeaway. He wants to continue opportunity zones. Opportunity zones is a program started by HUD Secretary Dr. Ben Carson. Essentially, the opportunity zones are deemed by Congress in the 5 U.S. territories or governors of states. And essentially, it's a trade-off, okay? If private investors come in and invest in what these deemed areas called opportunity zones are, if they invest there, then there is a tax incentive, a long-term tax incentive trade-off for these areas. I think the first 2 years it brought in $75 billion worth of investment. I've heard Ben Carson talk about that. So just a point, just a second big takeaway here. Third big takeaway is Secretary Scott Turner says they'll be mission-minded, and those missions, mission-minded focused on the housing crisis, and he specified a housing affordability crisis. He also specified the homelessness crisis, and he specified disaster recovery. We've had a lot of areas that have been impoverished by natural disaster in the recent past year. It's been crazy with stuff going on in North Carolina, Florida, wildfires in California. So there's been a lot of disaster areas, and I think that's what he's talking about there when it comes to disaster recovery. Number 4 big takeaway says they will execute on Trump's Day 1 executive order. That's I think the order is 3419, but as Scott Turner refers to it, he says it's to reduce housing costs to Americans. So That is number 4 big takeaway: reduce housing costs to Americans. Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying the show. Quick intermission here. Are you in the manufactured home sales industry? You know, books are one thing, but one-on-one training, coaching, that's next level. If you want next level for yourself, your teams, your organization, you don't want to just put goals on paper. You want to make them actually happen. We are here to get you the results, okay? We're here to partner with you, not take over your organization. We want to build on top of what works for you and your organization and make it better than it's ever been before. We're Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. I'll leave a link in the description on this video. You can book your free consultation call. Don't wait. Book it now. Back to the show. Number 5 big takeaway, and this is his promise number 1. Secretary Scott Turner's promise number 1 is long-term solutions to make homes affordable, spur business creation, create economic opportunity for every American family. I thought that was a pretty good promise. And, I'm hoping, praying that promise is fulfilled. That sounds good to me. I'm always about Americans thriving, and that sounds like a good promise to me. Big takeaway number 6, promise number 2. He made a number 2 promise. He says that the department will operate with efficiency, transparency, accountability, and integrity, drives every decision, and take inventory of every decision to make sure it's being done the best way it can be done, basically to maximize the budget to serve Americans. So I think promise number 2 is good. There's a lot of talk of transparency these days, and I think it's good to know where every dollar is going, but I think it's also good to not abuse budget, so to speak. So you want to do the most with the money that a department has. So I think that's a good promise. We'll see what comes of all this. We'll see if there's anything new that comes out of HUD, but those are the 6 big takeaways from Secretary of HUD Scott Turner's day 1 remarks. So hope you got value out of this. And until the next one, peace.